Hi friends, welcome to Storytime. Today is election day where we are going to be going to vote for the next president. And so I thought we'd read a book about presidents today. It's called What Are Presidents Made Of? And this book is really cool because the artist who did the illustrations actually made the president out of different kinds of objects, and it represents something about their personality. So I'm going to read parts of the book to you because it's a little long, so we might not read every single page. But here is what presidents are made of. And there's a little introduction that I'm going to read to you also. George Washington was the first president of the United States. Abraham Lincoln ended slavery. Franklin D. Roosevelt led the United States during World War II. But what were the presidents like? Did they make jokes? Did they play with their children? Here's a look at the presidents from George Washington through George W. Bush. So this book's a little old. It doesn't have the most recent presidents. In moments that don't usually make it into history, catch a glimpse of Washington fighting fires, or Clinton living life to the fullest, or Jimmy Carter helping the homeless. See the characters of the men who have lived in the White House. See what presidents are made of. All right, so here's the first one I want to take a look at. This is Theodore Roosevelt. And it says up here, presidents are made of endless energy. There's all kinds of cool stuff that makes up his face. Theodore Roosevelt studied judo, rode horses, rowed boats, played tennis, climbed mountains, and hunted in Africa. He had pillow fights and played hide and seek with his children. And he always wanted to be it. Roosevelt said, "Don't fritter away your time. Create, act, take a place wherever you are, and be somebody. Get action." Ooh, I like that. And there's pictures of him doing all kinds of stuff. All right, our next president is Calvin Coolidge, and it says, presidents are made of fun and games. Calvin Coolidge said so little that his nickname was Silent Cal. Once, a woman sitting next to him at dinner told Coolidge that she made a bet that she could get more than 2 words out of him. "You lose," he told her. See, that's 2 words. But calm, quiet Coolidge still rode a mechanical horse for exercise every morning, and he whooped it up like a cowboy. So that's kind of what that picture is there. All right, let's see who's next. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Presidents are made of picky eating. Even though Franklin Roosevelt was president, he couldn't control what he was served for meals. The White House housekeeper was a terrible cook and insisted on making things he hated, like broccoli. Even a special occasion didn't mean she'd serve fancy food. For a luncheon celebrating Roosevelt's re-election, she offered chicken salad rolls without butter, and cake without frosting. But Roosevelt couldn't bring himself to fire her. He would just fix himself an egg salad sandwich if he was still hungry after a meal. Presidents are made of lifesavers. John F. Kennedy served in the Navy during World War II, and his boat was sunk by a Japanese ship. Kennedy saved a wounded soldier's life by taking the end of the man's life jacket between his teeth and towing him through the water to an island 3 miles away. When he was later asked how he became a war hero, Kennedy simply answered, "It was absolutely involuntary. They sank my boat." Wow, what a great story. This page has 2 people. So first it says, presidents are made of glamour. Years before he became president and before he married his wife, Gerald R. Ford, a handsome former football star, dated a model. Together, the 2 of them posed for a ski weekend layout called A Weekend in the Life of the Beautiful People in Look magazine. Ford still kept a copy of that magazine, but said, "It's not something you flaunt around the house." Over here it says, presidents are made of helping hands. Helping people is important to Jimmy Carter. He taught Sunday school while president, and afterward he decided to spend his time doing good for others. Carter travels around the world trying to make peace between countries. And 1 week every year, he builds houses for the homeless for an organization called Habitat for Humanity International. He still does that, and he's in his 90s. Presidents are made of sweet stuff. Ronald Reagan loved jelly beans and kept a jar on his desk to share. But he tried to keep his favorites, the coconut ones, all for himself. Reagan was the first movie star to become president. After college, he worked in radio and then the movies, and soon became famous. In one movie, Bedtime for Bonzo, he starred with a chimpanzee. Reagan used part of the money he made making movies to buy his parents a house. Presidents are made of 2 left feet. George Bush met his wife Barbara at a dance. He wanted to get to know the woman in the red and green dress, but he was too embarrassed to ask her to dance. So they just talked. At their wedding, George finally danced with Barbara, but warned her that she'd better enjoy it because he would never dance in public again. Presidents are made of enthusiasm. Bill Clinton does everything full tilt. He loves to eat. People have seen him chew up an apple in a few bites, skin, core, seeds, and all, and gobble an entire pie without even using a fork. He also loves to read, to play jazz, saxophone, and to talk. One of his teachers in grade school even gave him a C for raising his hand too often. Presidents are made of sports fans. George W. Bush is the first president to have owned a baseball team. Before he was president, he bought a share in the Texas Rangers. Bush loves baseball, but he didn't buy the team just for fun. He paid less than $1 million for his share and sold it later for more than $15 million. Look, his nose is made out of a hot dog. And his mouth is a baseball. That's the end, friend. And these are all the presidents up through George W. Bush. So it doesn't include Obama or Trump. But these are the presidents so far. And then here's some of the objects they used to make them. All right, friends. So that is what are presidents made of. And maybe in the comments today, you could tell me something that you learned from that book. Or if you know something else kind of unique or interesting about a president, why don't you tell me that in the comments? All right, bye friends. Happy Election Day.